What is good, Hellraisers? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Today we're going to be looking at some weapons that some use, others try to avoid, and some people never heard of. Pistols in Warzone. Now, a lot of you guys have only experienced pistols when you're playing the Gulag and Battle Royale. Others like to play it a lot, especially during the events or the new seasons where there's always a new pistol, and the Akimbo is the most overpowered weapon you've ever seen, and they just end up decimating everybody. And others like myself avoid it at any cost. I do not like pistols. I've never liked pistols, even when it was trendy and it was a double pistol wield. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with a pistol. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm bad at it or just that I don't see the point. I'd rather have a RPG shoot down vehicles in Warzone, or if I'm playing Rebirth Island, I would rather have a what do you call it? A melee weapon. At least you get some speed if you need to take cover, or actually another RPG for when people rush you. Anyway, so today we're going to be looking at the best Warzone pistol. We're also going to be looking at another best Warzone pistol, but it's a contender as far as power and speed. And last but not least, for those of you guys who like to use the Akimbos, this is I'm going to show you guys the best Akimbo weapon aside from the metas. Now every season the meta changes, so there's no point of me telling you about season 4, 5, 6, 7 metas. What's important is that I'm telling you guys, even without the metas, the strong attachments for each and every pistol. Now the strongest pistol you will have so far in the whole game is the Psychov. But we're gonna I chose it specifically without attachments because I want to see you guys. I want to show you guys what attachments I'm choosing. Just gonna take these away because I do not like to see them. Boom. Okay, you can tell I've been playing with it for a bit. Alright, as far as the best attachments for the Psychov, what you want to put on it is a barrel. You need the Sorokin 140mm round. Now this is what makes the weapon of course fully automatic, but also increases the fire rate. Now the accuracy does go down. That's only because with so much fire rate the vertical recoil increases, but that shouldn't be a problem, because with the speed and the power it has, it's gonna be worth it. Now what you want is the muzzle. Of course, as all the weapons, you need that suppressor. For the Modern Warfare guns, the best suppressor is the monolithic suppressor, so that's what you want on your pistol. Then of course, this is fully automatic. You will be running out of ammo quite quickly, so you need the biggest amount of rounds possible. You need the 80 round drum. Now this is gonna kill a lot of mobility and control, but trust me, it is worth it. It's as powerful as a submachine gun when it's at close range. You want a rear grip, the VLK Freeze rack. Now this is going to increase the aim down sight speed, especially that you need that when you're aiming at people, and the sprint to fire speed. That's very, very important. I think all of my guns I try to increase the sprint to fire speed, whether it be pistols, submachine guns, LMGs, even my snipers. I like the sprint to fire speed. Now last but not least is the laser. Now you do need a laser because in case people attack you, you can also use this with hip fire. You do not need to aim down sight. And of course, the best laser for the Modern Warfare guns is the 5MW laser. It increases the hip fire accuracy and the sprint to fire speed. Laser visible to enemies, that's no problem, because by the time they see you, they'll probably be dead. I mean, the 80 round mag, the only weapon that can compete with this amount of ammunition is the Bullfrog. Of course, we're talking about the pistols and SMGs here, but even the Bullfrog at close range, I mean, it's a very strong contender to go against this weapon. I've seen people down so many guys with this. Usually I use this with a sniper when I play Verdansk, but you can also use it in of course in Resurgence. Is one of these guns that is really good in close range, and Verdansk I'm going to use it as a support for my sniper. But yeah, definitely a close range goat right here. Now if we're going to look at the second contender pistol, which is very good, usually you land with it, it is the Renetti. Now the Renetti is it's a very, very strong weapon, very accurate, very precise. Now what you want with the Renetti is you want to go for the barrels. You want the MK3 burst mode. Now the Renetti is pretty good, all right, but if you add 3 round burst to it, it becomes brutal. it becomes as strong as when the AUG came out, the 3-round AUG, tactical rifle AUG, back in I think it was season 1 when it came out with the Black Ops weapons. And then you need a muzzle. Boom, let's try this. Muzzle will go with the Desperado Pro Compensator. Now usually I do know that you're going monolithic suppressor, but now we're not going for when you're going with a Renetti, you're not really going for stealth. If you're going for stealth, you want to stick with the Psychov. This one you really want to go for power and to really dominate, and you shouldn't really care about if people can pinpoint you, because usually with this you go with a shotgun, and it's like you're really trying to go out with a bang. So Desperado Pro Compensator. And then ammunition, of course, as usual, you do need, especially if you're using 3-round bursts, you will run out of ammo quite quickly. So you will need the 27-round mags. Of course, it's going to kill a bit of the mobility, but that's no problem. Again, this is you're probably going to shoot a few guys, and then as soon as they rush you, switch over to your shotgun. I would suggest the Gallo or the Street Sweeper, depending on how your gameplay is, and decimate them all. And then we're going to go with the rear grip. Rear grip, we want to go with the XRK speed grip. So this is going to give us aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. As I mentioned earlier, sprint to fire is usually what I go for, and it's going to compensate a bit for that mobility that you lost with that ammunition. And last but not least is the perk. Now this one, wait for it, you guessed it right, Akimbo. Now Akimbo is not really what people go with in with the Renetti, but because people underestimate it. Now as you can see, the accuracy is super low, so people might be hesitant to use this, but trust me, when it's a 3-round burst and the Renetti and the Akimbo combined, it is brutal. I mean the Psychov is good, especially in dual wield, but it was meta for a bit, so they nerfed that. But here with a 3-round burst, it gives you a huge advantage, because the Renetti is already stable. So imagine shooting look at the fire rate, imagine shooting 3-round bursts so quick that usually people have to reload and you're already finishing them off. Give it a try, and let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Now for the third and final pistol is another pistol that is great in Akimbo. It's a bit different depending on your game style. We're gonna see exactly why. So it is the .357. Let's see where it is. Right, it's a Modern Warfare gun. Now the .357, it's a gun that I usually rarely use. I only leveled it up in Modern Warfare because I had to get the Damascus, but it's not something that I would play with. And even by itself, I wouldn't really play with. But in dual wield, it's something different. You feel like it's a whole different weapon. Let's look at what you need as attachments for this gun. Now what you need is the trigger action. Now this one is a very slow 1-bullet pistol, so you're going to equip the match grade trigger. Now this is going to increase the fire rate and the aiming stability. You do need that because, as I mentioned earlier, it's a very slow weapon, so if you can increase that, it would be great. As far as the aiming stability, I mean, you do need either a laser or an optics, because the aiming of this gun is not that great. But again, if you're using dual pistol, you don't really need to worry about aiming. And then as far as the barrel goes, we're going to equip a barrel, a .357 long barrel. That's going to give us damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. Again, I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a lot of recoil because it's a one-hit pistol. But if you can increase the damage at a range, increase the bullet velocity and the recoil control, which is exactly the main negative parts about it, then you have already a much better performing gun. We are gonna use ammo, of course. The snake shot is the only one we have. It's a buckshot filled shell, damage radius. It's gonna increase our accuracy a whole lot. It's gonna decrease the range, but we already increased it a bit with the barrel, so it comes back to what it was initially. And then of course you need the laser because you're going with a dual wield, so you do need that hip fire accuracy. And we're going to go with the best one, which is the 5NW laser. And of course the last one is the perk, the Akimbo perk. Oh, I do not have it unlocked. Get 3 kills, but yeah, once you have that Akimbo unlocked, that is the best setup to have. If you see somebody running around with lasers and dual pistols that seem way too strong, this is the weapon. Usually people don't go with with the lasers on the pistols, especially if it's dual wield, unless it's really strong pistols such as this or the Magnum. The Magnum is a bit slow, especially the reload. So this one is definitely a great match, or a great contender for these. That is pretty much it for the three strongest pistols in Warzone. I showed you guys the first one, which was the best configuration for a pistol similar to a submachine gun. Then the Renetti Akimbo, which is pretty strong, especially if wielded with a shotgun. And then you have this one. It really depends on your game style. The Rennie is going to be more of a shooting and attacking. You know, it's like more of a rush. This one's going to be more of a defending, or if your main gun ran out, you can really defend and block people off with this. It does take down people quite quickly. It's really good that there is the what do you call it, the match grade trigger and the snake shot, because otherwise we would need more ammo. But this ammo is already pretty strong, so you're gonna down people very quickly. And that is pretty much it. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see any other guns or whatsoever, or loadouts, please let me know equally. Alright guys, take it easy, have fun, and keep them wins coming. Peace.